Hello, sir. How are we doing this week?
We are doing okay. It's been a long week. How are you doing,
It's been an
sir?
exciting week.
Uh no, I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
Oh, if you're a fan of game of the year type games, it's been an awesome week.
Uh I'm gonna have to speak to your wife about having you committed because that is crazy talk. When was the last time they won a Game of the Year award?
You know what? I bet Odyssey. I think Odyssey and Origins were both in the game of the year running.
But when was the last time they won an award?
Well, I mean, I didn't. It's not an award winner. I said a game of the year contender.
I don't think so. But what are we talking
Of
about?
course, we're talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows, the game that you think is very woke.
It is woke.
You are a nut job. You got to actually play it before you can say if it's woke or not.
No. Listen to me. I do want to play as a large black man demolishing samurai.
Yes.
But
Okay.
because it's Ubisoft, that automatically makes it woke.
I'm really excited for this game. I want to see some gameplay, but this is on the top of my list for games to get this year.
I want to see gameplay too because I'm interested how they're going to do that co lead character.
Right, and
Like,
you know what's cool? It's not just like a gender swap. You know how
yeah,
like
that
how
is
they did
cool.
with well, it wasn't a co-lead character. It was just gender swap, like for Valhalla, basically, and or Odyssey. So, like, at least this time, there's a male and a female character in there.
And in both of those games, they made the female lead canon, if you remember.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, in Odyssey and Valhalla.
And at least it looks like they're two different, you know, types of characters. So
All right,
it's not gonna be the same thing.
you want to know my biggest problem with the game?
What's your biggest problem with the game?
Is it's Assassin's Creed, and you're going to spend we don't know how much time. It could just be a little bit of the time, but you're going to be playing as a samurai in a game called Assassin's Creed. I wanted to be more. You're always the ninja, right?
Well, in a game called Assassin's Creed, you were like I didn't really play Valhalla, but you were some big lumbering Viking.
Who was not an assassin, and it never made sense to assassinate anybody because you just could run up and eviscerate people. But the assassins showed up, so they're already stepping out of the Assassin's Creed. Like, you don't have to be assassin in Assassin's Creed anymore.
Well,
I just want to be a ninja.
you
I want to go back to. I don't know if you remember these games, but I sure as hell do. The Tenchu
Tenchu,
games.
yeah.
Yes, I want to be the ninja. Grappling hooks, scaling walls, climbing on roofs, jumping off on them to to stab a guy through the heart. I'm sure you'll be able to do all that, but then you got to turn around and play as the samurai.
You were an assassin in Assassin's Creed Mirage, but you were crying about that. You didn't play that one either.
I can't buy it yet. It's not on Steam yet.
Oh yeah, no, really. Do those games ever come to Steam?
They do after whatever stupid deal they have with Epic.
Oh, they launch
runs
an
out.
Epic.
Yeah, it seems to
Gotcha,
be like a year-long deal, like the Sony stuff.
gotcha.
I never really paid attention.
Well, Sony stuff's not as launches on Steam.
I was thinking of the year-long
Oh,
exclusivity of like Square Enix has with Sony.
well, I mean, it's been over longer than a year for some of that stuff.
Some of it, yeah, but I'm just assuming that's a year for Ubisoft.
Gotcha.
Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to play it. It looks like I'm guessing they're gonna go back to like the big RPG Assassin's Creed.
It's going to be Valhalla.
Right. Yeah.
That's all it's going to be. And
I'm.
just like Valhalla, you'll play it for 5 hours and then you'll get bored of it.
I'll probably play it for longer than that. I'll.
I played Valhalla for like 40 and I got bored of it. Well, I got bored of it at like 20, but I kept going.
But it's got a more exciting setting. I feel like.
Maybe, but the setting is wrong. Did you see that Japanese gamers are jumping on to X complaining that Ubisoft is using Chinese architecture in the game set in Japan?
I did not because I've bowed out of the culture war stuff. So
As you should, because it's
you're addicted to it.
I'm not addicted to it. It's just what I have to listen to while I work.
Mm. You're like, oh, god damn it, this pisses me off.
No, I just enjoy sending you that stuff, especially like for Tanga videos because they piss you off.
Oh god. Yeah, I mean, people didn't seem to care. They went back to like the old style of Assassin's Creed with Mirage, and I don't think that one did as well. It still did pretty good, but I think this game so far, I guess, has high pre-order numbers already for whatever reason why people are pre-ordering a game that's not out till this fall. But
why would you pre-order an Ubi? Well, first of all,
Right.
why would you pre-order any video game at all, let alone an Ubisoft game that will be at least 20% off within 2 months, and then probably 50% off within 6 months, and then 75% off within a year?
Oh, I'm day one on that and the Star Wars Outlaws game. Day one.
Again, I'm gonna have to talk to your wife. We're gonna have to seek you some help. What's that
Can't
called when you
wait.
force somebody into psychiatric
Shock
care?
therapy?
Yes, you need shock therapy.
Oh man.
Sony
would
needs
be
to
a-
release something to get you out of this, whatever
This would be a
kind of.
This will be a big year for Ubisoft, man.
It is not. Ubisoft never has a big year.
Oh, they've had a lot of bad years lately. They just canceled that Division Heartlands game. They've got that X Defiant game, the Call of Duty like clone coming out next week, actually. Which I don't know how well that's going to do.
How well has any of the clone games they've put out done?
No, yeah. I mean, Siege is still very popular, but I guess if you make 1 million of it, you're going to get at least one hit.
If they released Siege Part 2, would it sell well? I don't think so.
No.
I think it would fall into the Overwatch, where Overwatch 2 came out and people were just pissed because it wasn't Overwatch anymore.
Right. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Very excited for that. I'm interested to see how well that game is compared to Ghost of Tsushima. It's got a lot to live up to.
I don't think it's going to be as good as that game, which just came out on PC.
Yeah, did you buy that or no?
I bought it. I do not have room to install it, nor the time to play it.
Oh,
but I have it.
Well, that was good. That was smart.
Well, I got a good deal on it. I couldn't pass it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I got it for like $43 or something like that.
Supposedly it runs pretty well on the Steam Deck.
I might have room to install it there.
Mm.
So yeah, maybe I will try it out.
Did you see? I guess I think it was Bloomberg today had a story that Xbox/Microsoft is going to put Call of Duty on Game Pass, but now there's rumors that they are going to change up the tiers or add a tier or raise the price. There's going to be something.
I saw the headline and I believe it was a Fratanga video, and it was like one of those Trump memes. We're going to put it on Game Pass and make Sony pay for it. Or something like that.
Oh God, that's funny.
Yeah, that
That's
is
really
actually
funny.
pretty funny.
Yeah. They had to. I mean, at least I'll give them credit for it. It's got to stick with the Game Pass plan. You cannot not buy them and not put it in Game Pass.
Because Call of Duty will sell Game Pass. It might not sell consoles,
Yeah.
but it will sell Game Pass, where you could play it on PC, paying the $17 or whatever it is after tax, at least in our state, for Game Pass.
I think they're at least going to raise the price probably. What do you think? Probably another $1 or $2 a month, you think?
Which is why I canceled it, and I think they have to because they're not getting the subscriber amount that they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Subscriber count. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would imagine another at least $1 to $2 a month. They'll probably, or I wouldn't. I have to imagine they're going to add a tier with like ads or something like that. Or I wonder if there's going to be like it's just going to be Ultimate, but there's going to be as is Ultimate, and they're going to add like a Call of Duty tier or something like that. That's even more money, and just keep.
I
Ultimate,
can't see them
keep
doing
Ultimate to where it's at.
You know what they could do, which is probably the smartest thing they could do, is not a Call of Duty specific tier, but a tier that includes like the multiplayer component of games, like the season battle passes and stuff like that. Like, hey, you pay $25 for this tier, and you get the battle pass and downloadable maps and whatnot for all these games. Like, put several games in it, because you can't have the Call of Duty tier. Well, I suppose you could, but that would just be that would look terrible, don't you think?
I don't know. You mean I subscribe to Fortnite Crew, and that's $10 a month, and you get like 1,000 V-Bucks, and you get the current battle pass, which is like once every 2 to 3 months, and then you get a free special skin each month that it's only in Fortnite Crew. So like you could do something like that with like Call of Duty,
where it's just Call of Duty. You don't get Game Pass, you just get Call of Duty.
Could be.
And everything, the battle pass and everything that comes with it. I could see that.
Yeah.
But that would be disgusting too, because then you're just subscribed to Call of Duty.
Right. It's its own. Yeah.
Huh. That would be interesting.
I actually could see them do something like that. A Call of Duty subscription.
Subscribe now to Call of Duty.
They're all about subscriptions at Microsoft, so I could see like, yeah, that's something they haven't done with Call of Duty. Is you'd be like, yeah, this is the Call of Duty's pass, $10 or $15 a month or something like that, and you get the game and all this other extra tchotchkes.
Yeah, stuff you don't need.
So,
or they could have 2 tiers of that, and one where you get like the premium battle pass with the battle pass skips and stuff like that, and the base tier. Oh, I see our future just getting ugly, man.
Oh yeah, yep. I think we'll find out about that next month. I remember they were saying that there was going to be a business update. Remember when they had the podcast thing? They were planning a business update for the summer, blah, blah, blah. And I only think we got some of the information at that podcast. So I think we're going to get like the expanded Game Pass tiers and the other stuff here coming up in the next month or two, I bet.
Microsoft is in shambles, though.
Yeah, did you read the Jez Corden article this week about they've actually got a project name for porting all these games to PlayStation and Nintendo. It's called Project Latitude. So
that sours my attitude.
If your thing to port games over to other platforms has a code name, then there's more than 4 games going, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's a whole
slate.
Yes, everything's going to appear there.
Yeah,
Xbox is dead. I tried to tell my buddy Xbox is dead, but he's stuck in his ways. He won't switch over to anything. He's anti-PC, or he's not anti-PC. He has a PC, but he's anti-Sony.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember way back in the day, this might have been around the Sony PlayStation 2 or something like that. One of the CEOs or CFO or COO at that time called like Americans fat, and that stuck with him this whole time.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So he's been boycotting Sony ever since. So he won't ever go to Sony.
That is hilarious. Speaking of Sony, I don't remember if we talked about this. There was a rumor a couple months ago from Moore's Law is Dead about them doing another handheld, and he had the idea that it was gonna be like a PlayStation, like a mini PS4, and then PS5 only games would have to get like almost like Steam Deck supported, almost, or they'd have to get their own go in there and get their own version. And today, let's see, this was from a Russian journalist. This person was one of the first people to say that Sony would release its games on PC. Sony's preparing a new PSP for release, and PS4 games will be available on it. He talks about PS4 games that are already available on the Steam Deck. So basically, it would be a portable PlayStation 4, but then like I said, PS5 only games would have to go. They would have to go back there and like kind of like lower the specs in order for it to run, make their own version of it, which is not really many games if you think about it that are PlayStation 5 only. To be honest with you, slash Xbox Series only. This is interesting, and I don't know. I could see it.
I don't think they would sell the numbers that they would want to see. I think.
Well, I don't think they.
I think there's a lot of
like
hype
the Steam
around.
Deck. Like the Steam Deck, the Steam Deck isn't selling tremendous numbers. It's just like an additive thing for people in the Steam ecosystem.
And it's selling well enough for Valve, right? The Steam Deck is making Valve happy. It's selling enough copies. But then when you go to companies like Microsoft and Sony, they'll want quadruple the numbers that Steam Decks are selling. They'll want Switch numbers.
No, I don't think they're going to want Switch numbers. They know that this thing is just going to be like an additive thing to keep people in the ecosystem, really.
I don't think so. I think
it's not like
Microsoft.
They're not going to sell it for a loss. I think that ship has sailed. So then you're going to be making a little bit of money on the hardware, and it's also giving people more access to the PlayStation Network. So I think they've already know, like, the portal has been fairly successful. Even like the guy who does the NPDs every month said that, yeah, it is so far been pretty successful for PlayStation. So
has it? I've never seen it advertised anywhere.
Yeah, it is continuously selling out.
Is it even available in stores anywhere?
I don't know. I have not been in a store in a while. I was at GameStop. I didn't see it at a GameStop. But let's see if I can pull up his tweet.
I mean, I don't doubt that it's selling well and it's selling out. But how many?
Like I said, it's not meant to be a Switch, and it doesn't have its own library. It's just an additive device. And I think these companies are all about just keeping people in the ecosystem, giving more people more reasons to not leave your ecosystem. To whereas like
wrong.
they see like the slight popularity of the Steam Deck, and these other companies don't want people migrating over. And this is one of the things that I think where Xbox underestimated putting their games day and date on PC is they probably lost a lot of people to the Steam PC ecosystem that spent a lot of money.
You're 100% wrong, and I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. I have the proof to back up why you're wrong.
Okay.
They don't want to keep people in these ecosystems. They want to expand the ecosystems, which is why Microsoft is doing what they're doing, which could be the wrong way to go about doing it by alienating your base consumer, trying to get other people in. But then you have Sony going to PC, trying to expand PS Plus by forcing it into like Ghost of Tsushima and what the hell's that game? I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, Helldivers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're trying to expand the ecosystem into new markets. So I don't see it as them trying to keep people in the ecosystem, but to expand the ecosystem. Would you agree with that?
Sure. Yeah, totally. But I also don't think they want people really. I don't know. Maybe they do. But I don't think they would look at a device like this and be like, it needs to sell Switch numbers because it's not.
I think so. I think somebody at Sony would want that. Just like,
well, I mean, they would be happy. They would like that, but I think they know that it's not going to happen. Just like with the PlayStation Portal, it's not a separate ecosystem now anymore, like the Vita was to the PS3 and the PS4. It's all part of one ecosystem.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to agree with you, but I can't see them committing to it enough to be like, to get behind it and be like, yeah, I'm gonna get the new PlayStation Vita 2 because I can play my PS5 on it or whatnot. I can't see them staying in the mobile market in the long run, especially if the Switch 2 comes out.
Oh, I don't think.
Amazing.
I think the Switch 2. I think it's something neat for like people that's already in the PlayStation ecosystem, and you might pull in some mobile people because they need to get back in Japan too. They're hurting in Japan in their home market.
Well, that's because Sony's not a Japanese company anymore. It's an American company.
This would give them help, maybe get them back in there. At least they think that maybe. But I think this thing would be the Switch 2 is going to just, decimate this thing really because the Switch 2 is going to be a lot more powerful than a PS4.
Yes, and it's going to decimate all the other handhelds, even the Steam Deck.
I don't know. Supposedly it's only got like 12 gigs of RAM, supposedly, but I don't know if it's going to decimate the Steam Deck, but sales wise, it will.
Yeah. No, I'm not talking about the power.
Oh, okay.
At all. I'm talking about sales numbers for sure.
Yeah. It's interesting. If they did, I would be interested in a device like that because obviously I play in the PlayStation ecosystem.
You're a Sony
it's
phone.
Not right. Sure, it's not some.
Confirmed.
It's not for. It's not for those like PC creeps. They have their Steam Deck that they look at pictures on and stuff. But
I'll have you know, sir, I play games either every night or every other night on my Steam Deck.
Good. That's good.
On my little 15-inch screen that I have it hooked up to.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the rumors? I guess did you hear that story about like people from this board called Family Boards? They got a whole bunch of like shipping information and put it together and basically got like the specs of the Switch 2.
I saw that, and
it's pretty
power-wise, it seems a little underwhelming.
As long as it's quite a lot more powerful than the Switch 1, I'm okay with it.
I don't think it's going to blow people out of the water graphically-wise, and I think people are expecting something to be on like the level of PS5. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm just worried about the mass market. I'm worried about a second Wii U.
I just worried that they don't overprice the thing. That would be my main concern because I think that's what is holding the console market back right now is just prices have not gone down on any of these devices really.
No, and they seem to be going up.
Well, yeah, they have gone up except for here in America. But like everyone everywhere else
has gone down. Yeah, you're right.
They have sales, but they haven't like officially gone down. By this time, at least by this time now, the PS4 had a price, a permanent price decrease.
Yeah, you get those slim models that we're not seeing yet.
They were $300. The PS4 was by this time because remember the Pro launched and it was $400. So by this point in its life cycle, the PS4 had already cut $100, and basically the PS5, the digital version, bumped up $50. Remember when they did the new models?
Yeah, and we haven't seen that yet.
And so, yeah, I mean,
which
no price cuts.
You also see Sony is upset because they're not selling as many consoles as they did as the PS4.
They're only like 1 million behind the PS4. Launched the line. So they're not doing too bad, but I think they were down like 30% year over year, but they were down 30% from their highest month or their highest quarter ever, which was like 6 million. So I think they sold like 20, I think it was like 20.8 million systems last year, which is their best. I think that's their best year ever. The PS4 never sold over 20. It was their highest was like 19, I think 19.4. But PS5 had such a bad for a second year because of the pandemic, or first full calendar year. That's why they're
supply chain issues.
Yeah, the supply chain issues. Yeah, so. But yeah, I think really
scalpers.
The economy and the way the economy is right now and the prices is what's holding these systems back from actually selling.
It is,
and I was
hurting game sales too.
Yeah, right, totally. And I was just during PlayStation's financials that they gave this week, they said that they had 118 monthly active users, and half of them are still on PS4.
That
because
is kind of amazing.
a
Isn't
lot
it?
of these live service games are still on PlayStation 4, so you're not really given people. I mean, if they're still being served, the Fortnites and the Warzones and the FIFA, Madden, NBA 2Ks, you know, and they don't have a ton of money, and a PS5 is super expensive. Why,
Which we could roll into the next story. Square Enix is no longer doing exclusives.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
Did
part
you?
of the reason is because their games, Final Fantasy 16, Rebirth, they're not on PS4,
They're only on
so they're not
PS5.
selling. They're
Yeah.
only on PS5. Then they're not selling as many copies
And did you know?
as they.
I didn't realize, but sorry to interrupt you, but Square
No, go
has
ahead.
more exclusives on Switch than PlayStation.
Do they really?
Or they did launch them. I don't know if they were first on Switch, then they went to other platforms. But yeah, which is weird. It's like, all right, you're a third party. Why did you stop doing multi-platform stuff to begin with? Because you guys are bad at business.
They are terrible at business. So they're going through like a whole strategy rework right now.
Meanwhile, did you see like Capcom and Konami like boasted like their best years ever, basically?
Which is crazy because Konami doesn't make games.
I know, but they just licensed out their stuff for these quick cash grabs, like the Metal Gear Solid one. And
Speaking
what
of
was the other
that,
one?
The Turtles,
Oh, the Turtles too. Yeah,
they license out all their Contra and Castlevania games,
Yeah.
like those collections, which sold really well.
right.
And they've got the Rocket Knight Adventures coming out, I believe next month, or maybe it's 2 months away. Did you see that?
I did not.
If you know what Rocket Knight is.
No.
If you don't, you need to get this collection. It's basically, I believe it's 2 Genesis games and a Super Nintendo game, or it's the other way around. But they're classic Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo games. Side-scrolling, rocket platforming. Really cool games. Anyways, I'm off topic here.
There's speaking of Turtles, you brought up the Turtles. There's a Turtles roguelike coming. I think it's this summer to Switch. I don't know if it's coming to the other platforms or not. I just saw it on one of I think their indie showcase or something.
Huh. I'll have to check that out. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be like the Double Dragon roguelite that came out.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it looks. I'm into roguelikes now. Roguelites or roguelites. Give me more IPs in roguelikes.
You just
Should do an Assassin's Creed roguelike.
You're a dirty little rogue.
I think that's really all the news stuff I got, unless you have any other stuff.
I do.
All right, go for it.
Your good buddy Dreamcast guy is upset. Do you know why?
Oh, why?
Microsoft is creating a new studio after they shut down.
I would say
What was it, 5?
Activision Blizzard is creating a new studio.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people are pissed off about it. And I'm like, well, that's business.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not really news. I just found it amusing that some people are just really pissed off.
Supposedly it's going to be like a new AAA IP.
AAA IP from former devs at Naughty Dog, The Witcher, CD Projekt Red. I think there was a couple other companies that they came from. My first thought of when I saw that was Microsoft is making the same mistake that they've already made.
Are you thinking of with what was it, the Initiative? Hopefully it turns out better than that because they still have nothing over there. Yeah.
Getting a bunch of supposed Rockstar developers together and they never
Right.
make a goddamn game.
Right.
Or the game comes out and it's fucking shit because too many fucking ideas in the kitchen. Too many cooks in the kitchen, I mean.
You know what you need? You need to get one Rockstar like lead head guy, like a not necessarily Kojima, but something like that, with one name, who's like, okay, this is my game. This is what we are effing making. We don't need 15 Rockstar guys they all have their own ideas, and it turns into a jumbled mess. You need one leader.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that. But I just thought it was funny because Dreamcast guy was upset, and I get happy when he gets upset.
Poor Dreamcast guy.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, what do you think about the rumor of this Lego Horizon Adventures, a Lego Horizon game?
I did not see that.
Really?
The Sony Horizon game or Forza Horizon?
It's the Sony Supposedly,
not see that.
it's going to be it's either a Horizon Forbidden West or a Horizon Zero Dawn, but with
Well, they
but
already have the
Lego.
kits, right? The actual,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
believe I saw Lego kits.
yeah. They have got that tall neck.
Yeah, that could be cool.
Yeah, it could be interesting. I'm not super hot on Lego games. I played a little bit of that recent the Skywalker saga, and I didn't really care for it and deleted it rather quickly. But
Really, it's the first one to stray from their formula since at least the 360 age.
yeah, I probably did. I wasn't in the mood. I don't think I gave it a fair shot, so I might have to go
But
back
you
to it.
play one Lego game, you've played them all.
Right,
So.
totally, yeah. And I've hated all of them for a long time.
I didn't mind them. They kind of remind me of like brainless games. Like I always like the Dynasty Warriors games because you just mash a button, and that's kind of what the Lego games are. You just kind of do the same thing over and over and over again.
Only the Dynasty Warrior stuff is fun.
Sure, because you're killing thousands of people, I guess.
Yeah, right, totally.
Oh, now I'm on a list for talking about killing thousands of people.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, what else you got for news?
I think that's it. I brought up the Square Enix. I brought up Microsoft.
Because we got a long list of what we've been playing since it's been. We didn't get to it last week, and it was weeks before we went weeks without a podcast. So got a lot of stuff to get through here.
Yes, kind of, maybe. So you go ahead, because I don't think I've been playing all that much.
Well, I beat a game this week.
Did you?
Yeah. Super Mario Land for the Game Boy on Nintendo Switch Online.
Nice.
I think I probably took.
I beat that
maybe
on an actual Game Boy.
Maybe I've beaten it before, but I think this time it maybe it'll take me 20 to 30 minutes. This game is really short, but
It is super short and relatively easy.
Yeah, it is a fun little game though. I love those Game Boy ones because they're really weird and wacky, and they do some crazy stuff. They kind of stray from the formula a little bit. I like how they, you're in the submarine, and then the last level is like the airplane. But yeah, that came to Nintendo Switch Online this week, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna fire this up. I've been waiting for that one actually. Timeless classic.
I wouldn't call it a classic. It's probably the worst.
It is, yeah. Well, I don't know. I actually would rather play that than original Super Mario Brothers. I think. Maybe it's because it's a lot shorter. It's only like 4 worlds with 3 levels in each one, so like 12.
But it does have kind of cool shooter levels.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it's a decent game. It's worth a play if you got Nintendo Online.
The biggest one that I was playing while we were on our hiatus was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I finished that all in I think it was around 90 hours. And
did you platinum it?
No, I'm not doing that. No way. I think you probably have to beat that game on hard if it's like the first one. And I know in remake hard mode you couldn't use any items, so there was no way I was getting through that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that either.
But I gotta say it's probably somewhere in. If I had to make a top 20 favorite games of all time, top 25, I think I gotta put that game in there. I really enjoyed it, but I mean I'm a fan of that series, the Final Fantasy VII series, if you're gonna call it that. So, I mean, it holds a special place for me. I mean, it is way too long. There's a lot of, typical open world filler for, how modern gaming is. There's so many effing mini games in there. After a while, I just got enough with the mini games. God, it was driving me crazy. But after I beat that game, I felt like I had to take a break from modern AAA games for a while. It just it sucked the soul out of me. But I did really enjoy the story. The story's great. I love the characters in there. The combat is my favorite combat in any JRPG, action RPG. Absolute favorite. They've got so many cool abilities in there, and the side quests are much improved from remake. So if you were gonna put them on a scale and say, The Witcher or what is their CD Projekt Red's other game?
Cyberpunk?
Cyberpunk. If you're gonna say that's like top of the line and Final Fantasy 16 is bottom of the barrel, I would put it somewhere in between there. So it is improved.
Okay.
But I mean, there's just so much stuff in there that like you're probably gonna miss a lot of it because at least doing some of the open world like routine filler stuff does give you a little bit of story in it. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. What about you? What do you got? What have you been playing in the past few months here? This week, months.
All you've been playing?
I've been playing a little bit. I beat Pikmin 2, so I think that goes on the list of I don't know how many games I've beaten this year, 4 or 5. I don't think it's better than the first one. You ever beat Pikmin 2? You ever play it?
I've never played Pikmin 2. I played Pikmin 1 and 4.
So Pikmin 2 has less areas you land, but each area that you land has dungeons you go in, and it's like a hole in the ground, and there's floors. So you get a couple items in each floor, then you can go further and further. I don't like that as much as the first one. So the basis is this one. You don't have. I don't think you have a limited number of days like in the first one, but you have to collect items in order to get your boss out of debt. So you gotta collect items that are worth money, and you need to collect like $10,000 worth of items, and then the game ends. But there's like a post game, which I have not beaten the post game stuff, so I'd like to come back and finish that. But yeah, that's my second Pikmin of the year, Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 that I've beaten. I would say give the nod to Pikmin 1. Pikmin 2 introduces white Pikmin, which they can destroy things that are poisonous. There's poisonous gas in here, and if like enemies eat them, they'll be poisoned. And then they have like I don't know what exactly they're called. They're like heavy Pikmin, which count for if you're picking something up, they count for 10 Pikmin. So. And you've got
There's something similar to that in 4.
And you've got 2 characters that you can switch to, so you can kind of like multitask.
Nice.
Let's see what else. Oh, I've been playing actually a game that I really do like, and that is Immortals of Avium.
I've seen you playing that.
Yeah.
So you like it?
I do like it. I don't think it's great. I'd say it's solid to good. It's like a magic shooter, which is a pretty neat concept. It's a pretty new concept. It's very Marvel-y in how its story is, basically. A lot of Marvel-esque humor. But like it's a neat story. It's fun to play a shooter that's magic. It's something different. It's something new.
I want to try that.
It is definitely worth a
EA
shot.
delists it.
Right, yeah, it's definitely worth a shot. I gotta imagine it's on Access. I know it's on Game Pass this month or next month.
I got it on PS Plus.
Oh, did you? Yeah, that's where I'm playing it at. Yeah, I highly recommend it. I'm pretty close to being done with it, I think, but definitely a really good game. And it sucks that it like absolutely bombed and like the studio closed down. So
it hit the same problem that a lot of modern games are hitting, especially these games put out by these publishers that if they're not a mainstay of the publisher, they're not getting advertised.
Right. Yeah. And you know what it seems like now games cost so much that publishers aren't willing to take a chance on a sequel. They're not willing to grow a franchise. Remember, like the first Uncharted, I think it was good, and I don't know if it sold gangbusters, but Uncharted really took off in the second one. I would say Assassin's Creed as well really took off in the second one. And now it just seems like if a game isn't a blockbuster right out of the gate, you're not getting a second chance.
Yeah, you're getting shut down and shipped off to another studio.
Right. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If if you like single player shooters, I highly recommend this game.
Any RPG elements to it?
Oh yeah, it's a gear game. There is gear in the game. So like you have different blasters that shoot the different kinds of magic. Like one magic, the blue magic is would be like a rifle. And the red magic is more like a shotgun. Your green magic would be like a SMG or assault rifle. And like those are like different like bracers. You got And so like you find like different that upgrade your stats, and you got like rings and different stuff. So it is kind of like a gear game. You don't get a lot of it, but you do get enough to like. It's not crazy like Borderlands where you're always getting thrown gear, but yeah, you can upgrade that stuff. You can upgrade your abilities as well. So it is there is more to it. It is like a first person like RPG. So. And
Nice.
the last thing I have been playing, which I'm playing right not this second, but I'm currently been punched.
It's in rotation.
It's in the rotation, chipping away at is the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids, and that is Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Did you play the first one of these? The Kingdom Battle?
I own the first one, did not beat it, but I liked it. I really enjoyed what I played.
Yeah, same with me. It was a really good game. This one, it's just kind of more of the same. It gives you a little bit more freedom. How on the first one, you had like to move in like a line. Basically, it had like the little square grids. This one just gives you like an open area. You can kind of go like only to where the area is, basically. So there's a little bit more freedom. Some new characters, new abilities, and yeah, it's just kind of more of the same. But I'm enjoying it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Switch lately. I haven't even started Stellar Blade. I bought the digital deluxe and I haven't started it. But you have been playing it.
I've been playing a lot of it. I've probably got like around 25 hours into it. I like that game a lot, but I'm starting to fall out of enjoying it as much as I did in the beginning.
Yeah.
There's some definite jank to it, which gets kind of frustrating, especially with the platforming. There's been a couple sections where you've got to do like Tomb Raider style platforming, and you reach the end of it, and I'm like, where do I go? What do I do? And it's you've got your co-pilot yelling at you, go over here and do this. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I died like several times trying to figure out what he wanted me to shoot or where he wanted me to jump. So that got a little frustrating. And I'm in the later part. I'm probably close to beating it at this point. And the combat has increased in difficulty exponentially and is a little annoying because of that. It's not a game where it's designed where you fight multiple enemies at once, even though they throw them at you. And when they make these enemies harder, the combat gets harder and it just doesn't seem fair. And
is it something you can grind and like do more damage, like if you would grind it lower enemies and get more skill points or something?
There's no level. Skill points don't directly equate to damage. They kind of just give you new abilities. And the way the skills are geared, they're more towards one-on-one combat. So a lot of times I'll automatically lock onto an enemy, and then I'll get struck from the side, while I'm trying to focus on one enemy. I actually encountered a boss that almost had me rage quit last night or the night before, because it was a ranged boss, but then they threw in a normal melee enemy in the combat with you. Ooh. And you can't focus on the range one because the melee one will kick your ass. And when you focus on the melee one, the range one's just bombarding you. And it was utter bullshit. I feel like the latter part of this game seems rushed.
You were like, what's it? I fucking hate this PlayStation 5. I fucking hate it. Fuck you, Sony.
No, I like my PlayStation 5. I did have the game kind of shut down on me a couple of times, which was weird.
Oh. Crashed the system or just the game closed out?
One time it crashed the whole system. Could have been overheating. The other couple of times it just dashboarded me. But whatever it was, they might have fixed it because it hasn't happened in the past 2 weeks or so.
So you think you're gonna finish it? You think?
Yeah, I don't think if it's game of the year contender like I originally was thinking, and I'm definitely going to finish it. I got to be close to the end. I don't
Well,
think I'm going to 100% it though.
I mean, it's not going to be because it can't Game of the Year contender because Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out this year. So, and
Right,
Star
I
Wars
forgot about
Outlaws.
that.
So, yeah,
Forgot all about that.
Ubisoft's got that category just locked down.
They do. Everybody else should put their games off till next year.
Right.
And other than that, I've been playing. Actually, after the news of Arcane being shut down, I installed and started playing Redfall
Oh God.
because that's an always online game, and I was like, "Are they going to do the crew to it?
They're actually going to. I think
Release a offline patch?" I saw that today, and I was like, "Awesome!"
Yeah. They're good.
The
They
game's not
had
great,
it like
but I
almost.
own it.
They had it like almost done, and they like originally said that they weren't going to release it, but now I guess they're going to go ahead and finish it. So that's cool.
That's the right way to do things, even though
Yeah,
it's not a great
totally.
game. Ubisoft could have easily done that to the crew. The crew.
The Crow.
Man,
Man, we
that,
need a
that
Crow
shitty
game.
PlayStation 1 game. We have one.
Oh.
It's on PlayStation 1 and Saturn. It's a fucking shitty ass game.
We should actually play some either Redfall or Helldivers co-op soon.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Then we should stream it. I've been
Totally.
streaming
Go for
Stellar Blade on my YouTube channel.
Nice.
Rebel Blood 80.
All right.
Nobody's been watching.
Oh, well,
But it's still
it's
been
gonna take
fun.
a while.
Yeah, I don't really announce that I'm going to stream or anything like that either. I announced to you one day, but I figured you didn't want to watch it because you don't want any spoilers for when you play it.
No spoilers.
So, yeah, Redfall still kind of sucks. It might be fun with like 3 other players.
Right.
I've been playing a game called Animal Well.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, this is on my radar.
Released by a single developer and then published by the YouTuber Donkey.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's a Metroidvania that is weird, and I dig it. And it has some difficult platforming in it, which I kind of dig.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm usually not a difficult platformer, but the visuals and the little music that's there and the sound effects just make me want to keep playing this game.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like a difficult platformer. It just can't be too difficult.
Right. It can't be
there's a
a
fine
Kaizu
line.
Mario trying to purposely
those
kill
are the
you.
worst.
It can't be one of my Mario Maker levels.
Right, the Kaizo Marios. And that's all people fucking make on there too. It's horrible.
Well, I don't think my Mario Maker levels are Kaizu.
No, yours aren't, but like the Kaizo ones are fucking, you'll put like one Kaizo thing in there. These other people that make these levels will put the whole level like that. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I usually try to build my levels around one element and then expand on that. And then finally, I was not going to get this game or play it because I heard that the localization was terrible, which it is. It is like 90s PlayStation 1. Well, no, it's actually worse than that. It's probably early Sega CD era terrible translation. And that's Eiyuden Chronicles? 100 Heroes? Eiyuden?
Huh.
It's a game that was made by the guy that made Suikoden 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. It's a Japanese developed game. It's a JRPG.
Okay.
And I might even be saying Suikoden wrong. Suikoden.
Yeah,
Suikoden. Suikoden.
Yeah.
Sure. That game. He died right before the game released.
Oh, wow.
So he didn't even get to see his spiritual successor because it's just like those games. He didn't get to see it release. He died. And other than the terrible translation, I've been really enjoying the game.
Nice.
Yeah, it's perfect on the Switch. Not Switch, Steam Deck, even though it says it's not 100% playable, verified on the Steam Deck. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. I've been limiting myself.
Didn't you say you were playing Sandland?
Oh, well, yeah, I only played like an hour or two of it.
Okay.
I just booted it up because I actually pre-ordered that game, so I'm part of the problem.
Yeah, you are.
But I wanted to see how it was.
Dumbass.
And I'm trying to power through Stellar Blade so I could get to that game and other games.
That looks interesting to me.
It's cool.
Yeah, that looks very interesting to me.
JRPG tank combat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I recommend it to anybody that's into RPGs, tank combat, anime style games.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I definitely want to check that out. That's a game I definitely want to check out.
And apparently it's sold really well too, so
Oh, cool.
there may be more of them.
Because it was on everything.
Yeah.
Well, not Switch. Was it on Switch? I don't think so.
I don't know. It might
PlayStation and
struggle on the
PC.
Switch. Because it is open world.
PlayStation, PC, and maybe Xbox. Was it on Xbox too?
I want to say it was, but I'd never turn on my Xbox anymore, so I don't know for sure.
Oh, Xbox.
Bandai Namco, so I don't see why it wouldn't be on there.
I was thinking of Square for some reason.
But yeah, that's all I've been playing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, this week, this is Hellblade comes out next week, right?
Yes. You gonna play it?
Yeah, for sure. I've been hanging on to my Xbox. I haven't sold it yet, so
You'll have to tell me how it is, because I do not have Game Pass. I have no way to play it unless I buy it.
Oh, are you not going to buy it?
No, not right away.
Mm.
I'll wait for a Microsoft sale.
You see, reviews are going to be like 1 hour before the game releases. That's when the embargo is.
That is a terrible sign.
I just think they don't want people to spoil it since it's so short.
And it's nothing but story, right?
Right, yeah.
That's all the first game was nothing but story.
Right. So I should just wake up like Friday morning and play it really quickly before the podcast. I could play it after work and be like, oh, okay, I'm done.
Yeah. I played for 3 hours. I saw the credits.
Yeah, right, totally. All right, well, do you have a Rebel Recommends this week?
Sure. You could play this. I think it's on everything. It's called Reventure.
Okay.
It's kind of a Metroidvania, but it's a game about dying.
It's about dying. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
You die, and then it's a roguelike or roguelite. One of the two.
Roguelite or like.
Yeah.
And or like.
One of my runs, I walked out the front door of the main character's house, tripped on a rock, and died.
Oh. All right.
Reventure.
There you go. Our Rebel,
it's pretty
Rebel
cheap.
Recommends for the week. All right, well, that's going to be a show for us for this week. I got to go get some food for me and the kids, so.
Oh, damn, it's super late to be eating.
I know. We went to GameStop so I could pre-order Paper Mario, and I asked my son, I'm like, oh, do you want me to get you some food on the way home? And he was all fucking tired, and he's like, no. And then he's like, right before the podcast, he's like, oh, I want to eat. And I'm like, oh, too bad. You're going to have to wait an hour.
Too late now.
Yeah, it missed the window. You're going to have to wait an hour now, so. Yeah, I went to pre-order Paper Mario, and yeah, that comes out next week too. Shit,
too many games.
At least, Hellblade 2 is gonna be short, so I can knock that out next weekend.
And I'll be able to do the same when it's on sale for $15.
Yeah, because it's a $50 game, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna drop down to like $15 at some point. And that's
No doubt.
probably the perfect price point to buy it at.
Probably, yeah.
I think I paid like $8 for the first one.
Oh, wow.
Maybe even less.
Nice. All right, sir. Well, good show. We will see you here next Friday. I'll be talking some Hellblade and whatever else news happens during the week.
Yeah. Maybe something good will happen for once.
Right. Well, Assassin's Creed Shadows, I thought was pretty good.
Nah.
Oh, it's too
And
woke.
not because
It's woke. Arrgh.
I don't care about the wokeness in the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
What I really care about is the fact that it's an Ubisoft game, and that's the biggest issue with the game. Period.
You love Ubisoft games. You're a closet Ubisoft fan.
Just because I own every Ubisoft game,
Yes,
except for a few of them, does not mean I'm a fan.
You dumbass. All right, everyone. We'll see you next Friday right here at 8 p.m. Central Time. We'll see you guys later.